Hello everyone. The topic for discussion is population growth and dynamics. So the content here is very simple. The entire lecture is divided in several parts. Okay. So the content here is population, factors affecting population growth rates, population pyramid or age pyramid, then survivorship curves. Okay. Yes. The first thing is you must know what is it actually. What is population? Very important for anyone to know. This is a very simple term. You have come across this term right from your childhood. No, right from your childhood. You know what is this? You know how do we use this word? In what content? In what regard we use this? You all know this, correct? So a population is a collection of individuals of the same species. See, when there is a group, in which human beings are there, birds are there, animals are there, trees are there, together we cannot call it a population. A collection of same species can only be defined as a population that live together in a region. In a particular region, they should be living together and they should belong to the same species. That is very important. Okay. Characteristics of a population that tell us why populations grow quicker than others. There are certain characteristics. Okay, there are certain very important characteristics which tell why is one population growing faster than the other, right? Now, I'm first discussing the related terms which will help you to know, which will help you to understand the entire lecture, correct? It is expressed as the total number. Now we'll come to population density. It is expressed as the total number of individuals per unit area or volume at a given time. Time is very important. At one particular time, at one particular given time, in a unit area or volume, how many individuals are living? Is that clear? Frame the sentence in your own way. You will understand better. What did I say? I said number of individuals collectively living in a particular region at a given time per unit area or volume. Understood? In this course, we will use the number of people who live per square mile or kilometer, right? So now we'll talk about two important terms. One is crude density. The other is specific or ecological density. Okay. Crude density is density per total space. Density per unit total space. Total space means what? Suppose you see think of your own house. Are you living in the entire area? Think of your apartment. There are many flats over there. You are living in one of them. You're not living in the entire apartment. The entire apartment doesn't belong to you. The crude density is that entire apartment, and specific or ecological density is the habitat space. Your flat is your specific or ecological density. Have I made myself clear? Did you understand clearly? Crude density is the total available area, correct? Now, specific or ecological density is a particular region where you are living. So in the ecosystem, you see, the entire ecosystem is not inhabited by a particular organism. Isn't it? The entire ecosystem is not inhabited by a particular organism. That is, the entire ecosystem is the crude density. But the particular area which is inhabited by the organism is the specific or ecological density. Okay. Yes. Now coming to very interesting and important points: mortality and natality, birth and death. You all know what is it, right? What is birth? What is death? You all know. Now we will try to relate these terms which we have, which we know for ages, which we have been knowing for ages. Now we will relate these terms. We will relate these terms to our text. Okay. Fertility is the ability of the productively active individuals to produce babies. Why did I say productively active individuals? What is the meaning of this word? Reproductively active or productively active. That means what? See, if think of a human being, when the baby is born, the baby is unable to reproduce, right? The reproductive phase starts. The reproductive phase of that person starts after a certain span of time. Yes, this goes on for another few years. After that, it is over. An organism, especially human beings, here the entire lecture will be based on human beings, right? Human being is not reproductively active throughout their life. The mid phase of their life is the phase where human beings are reproductively active. During the first phase of their life, they are not active. During the last phase of their life also, they are not active. Okay, so fertility is the ability of the reproductively active individuals to produce offsprings or babies. Okay, birth rate. Now, birth rate is the number of babies produced per 1,000 individuals. Among 1,000 individuals, how many babies are being produced? This is birth rate. Fine. It differs from population growth rate. Please don't get confused. What is population growth rate and what is birth rate? Birth rate is a different terminology. Population growth rate is different. Okay. It differs from population growth rate as it is never negative, while growth rate can be negative. Very, very important point. It differs from population growth rate as it is never negative, while growth rate can be negative. correct? Total fertility rate, TFR, is the average number of children that would be born to a woman during her lifetime. If you consider the lifetime of a woman, the fertility rate is what? It is the average number of children that would be born. Average number of children that would be born to a woman during her lifetime. This is TFR, or total fertility rate. Yes, now coming to mortality. Okay, mortality is the death rate per 1,000 individuals, like natality. Natality was what? Birth rate, births per 1,000 individuals, and this is death per 1,000 individuals. Death rate has fallen in most countries. Why? Why do you think death rate has fallen in most countries? Think for a while. These are very common. This is a day to, you know, this topic is so very related to your everyday life. So there is nothing to be so surprised at these terms, at these definitions and all. You know all these things. All that you need to do is pay a little bit of attention. You will understand everything by your own self. Okay. Death rate has fallen in most countries because of improved medical help. Years ago, say 50 years ago, 60 years ago, we did not have such improved medical facility. Did we have? No, we didn't. So, death rate has fallen in most countries. It is due to improved personal hygiene, sanitation, and modern medicines. Okay, this is modern medicines. This is what? Modern medicines. Okay. Now see, the difference between the number of births and that of death is called the rate of natural increase. Very simple. Suppose 10 individuals are born. Just an example. 10 individuals are born. 5 individuals dies. 5 individuals die. So what is the rate of natural increase? Very simple. 10 minus 5 is 5. It's very simple. See, the difference between the number of births and that of deaths is called the rate of natural increase. Okay? Yes. Now see, if birth and death rates were equal, a zero population growth rate would result. Obviously, see, suppose 10 individuals are born, 10 individuals are dying. 10 minus 10 is 0. A zero population growth rate would result, which is known as demographic transition. This phase is called demographic transition. When the result is like this, it is called what? Demographic transition. Right? It has occurred in most developed countries. That is the reason why developed countries are not experiencing the pressure of population growth. This demographic transition is achieved over there, and achieving this demographic transition is very important. Without achieving this demographic transition, you just cannot progress. Okay? Yes, now see. Now we will talk about migration. Okay. Migration is the movement of individuals into or out of a place or country. Thus, migration is of two types, immigration and emigration. You have heard of these words, right? When you are going for an international trip, haven't you gone to the kiosk where it's written immigration and emigration, all these things? What is it? One starts with I, the other starts with E. Immigration, I-M-M-I-G-R-A-T-I-O-N, immigration, and the other is emigration, E-M-I-G-R-A-T-I-O-N. Immigration is what? Immigration is the movement of individuals into an area. They are coming in. Okay, they are coming into an area. And what is emigration? It is the movement of individuals out of an area. Correct? Migration may occur within a country as well as between different countries. Fine. Now we will look into age and sex structures. Okay. Bodenheimer in the year 1958 proposed 3 age groups in a population: pre-reproductive, reproductive, and post-reproductive. This is what I was just discussing. I had started discussing this only just a while ago. What did I say? When a person is born, that means that person is not reproductively active. So a newborn baby or a child is actually going through its pre-reproductive phase. After puberty, the person becomes reproductively active. The person is then going through its reproductive phase. Thereafter, the person moves into post-reproductive phase. Infants and older people have higher mortality rate than individuals of other age. Always remember. The proportion of reproductively active males and females in a population also influences population growth. This is what actually influences, isn't it? Very important parameter. Now see, factors affecting population growth rate. Population growth depends on rates of birth, death, immigration, emigration. See, among these 4 terms, 2 of them are related to decrease in population. Think of this for a while. Which is what? Please think. So birth rate added up to immigration rate together gives you a number. When you subtract death rate and immigration together from this number, you get population growth rate. Why is this happening? See, birth rate means adding on to population. Immigration rate means what? What did I say just now? They are coming and joining, coming inside. So both of these parameters are adding on to the population, right? Now, come to this side. Death rate is what? Decrease in population. Emigration is what? Decrease in population. Emigration, what did I say just now? They are going out. That means what? Decrease in population. Correct? So, subtracting death rate and emigration together from birth rate and immigration gives you population growth rate. Let's take a very simple example. Suppose birth rate is 5, right? Immigration rate is say 10. So 10 plus 5 gives you how much? 15. Now come to this. Death rate is 2. Emigration is 5. 2 plus 5 is how much? 7. So when you are subtracting 7 from 15, this gives you a figure. What is that? Here it's 8. This is your population growth rate. Okay. Now see. Yes, this is something very interesting. Age structure. The demographic changes also lead to changes in life expectancy and age structure of a population. This means what? The populations of young and old people. Okay. These changes can be shown as population pyramids and survivorship curves. Is that okay? Population pyramids or age pyramids show the population of a country as a bar chart with a bar for each age group. This is generally 5 or 10 years per bar. Males and females are usually shown separately on the reproductive on the two sides. Okay, see, if, look at this picture, look at this diagram. You will see male and females are plotted on the two sides. Male is on your left and females are on your right. Males and females are plotted on the two sides of the chart. Okay, to interpret these charts, it helps to put the ages into 3 bands. 3 bands are there. Pre-reproductive, 0 to 14 years is pre-reproductive phase. Okay, 0 to 14 years is pre-reproductive. After this, human babies or human beings attain puberty. That means what? They become reproductively active. They become reproductively active. Okay, this is from 15 to 44. 15 years to 44 years. Okay, then coming post-reproductive phase, which is above 45. Fine. The different shapes of these different pyramids will give you an idea how the age of individuals affect the population. All right. The shape of an age pyramid tells us about the structure and about the future growth of population and about life expectancy. See, here are 4 diagrams to it. In the x-axis, we have percent of population. Okay. In the y-axis or ordinate, what do we have? We have age. Now see, when you are drawing these diagrams, I'm again and again repeatedly telling you, please draw the axis. A graph without an axis has got no meaning. Just drawing axis, putting your scale and drawing axis is of no use. When you are drawing the axis, you will have to mark it. You will have to mark it, right? Without drawing the axis, this is absolutely useless, right? Now see, the wider the base of the pyramid, the faster the population growth. Now please look at this very carefully. This has got a very wide base. That means what? When the base is wide, it means what? People belonging to pre-reproductive phase is more. This shows the population will grow very fast. Why is it so? When the population is growing very fast, when it is growing very fast, this means what? These individuals will grow one day, they will attain reproductive phase and they will produce offsprings. Therefore, the population will rapidly grow. Okay. So, wider base of the pyramid means it is indicative of the fact that the population is growing rapidly. Okay. Imagine the white bottom bars moving up the pyramid over time into the reproductive band. Okay. A pyramid with a narrow base on the other hand, that means what? Just the opposite. With a narrow base on the other hand indicates a falling population. This means what? See, if the base is narrow, that means what? Young individuals are less. Okay. But if the upper part is too broad, that means what? Older people are more. When they will die, that part will not be replenished, or it will be replenished, but with lesser number of people because the base is narrow. Base is narrow means what? Base is narrow means what? People are less here. When they will attain maturity, when they will go up, the number will be less only. Fine. So this gives us an idea of negative growth actually. The steeper the pyramid, the longer the life expectancy. The wider the base of the pyramid, the faster the population growth. This is one line that has to be memorized, understood. This line now is also of equal importance. What is this? The steeper the pyramid, the longer the life expectancy. An age pyramid with a wide base that declines quickly, and has a narrow tip indicates high infant mortality. That means what? Infant mortality is what? Children are born and they are dying very fast. This is called infant mortality. Okay. As age pyramid with a wide base that declines quickly and has a narrow tip indicates high infant mortality and short life expectancy. Fine. A more rectangular shape with a broader tip, tip part is broad, indicates long life expectancy. Okay. Now we will talk about the survivorship curve. Can you see I have used 3 different colors to write this survivorship curve. 3 different colors are there. See, blue, yellow, green. The blue curve is a convex curve or type 1 curve. 2 names are there. One, you can call it as type 1 curve or convex curve, type 2 curve or linear curve, type 3 or concave curve. All right. Death rate is low at young age in comparison to that at old age. Death rate is low in young age in comparison to that at old age. This is type 1. Higher rate of survivorship at younger age. Okay, higher rate of survivorship at younger age, lower rate of survivorship at older age. Fine. This is very much related to us. No? Next, see, this is the convex one. Now coming to the linear one. Steady survivorship rate, moderate death rate, that is individuals die at all ages. This is very characteristic. This is a characteristic graph for birds. Birds and all birds you will find they are dying at all ages actually. So this is the linear curve. See, this green bar is your linear curve. Then we have the concave one. Mortality of younger individual is considerably higher in comparison to that of older individual. See, this is the concave one. So this one you can say type 1 is for us, human beings. This is for birds and this is for trees. Here also equally important. I'm again repeating. This is a graph. So you will have to have x-axis and y-axis along with their legends. Axis title. Here age or time is plotted on the x-axis. Surviving individuals is plotted on the y-axis. Fine. Now coming to population pyramid or age pyramid. This is what we have just discussed. This is a brief summary to what I have just told you. You see, rapid expanding. What do you see here? See, I have drawn these pictures for you so that it becomes easier for you to understand. Rapidly growing population with greater proportion of young aged individuals. Okay, here the top part is narrow and the narrow because of low life expectancy. Okay, this is found in poorer parts of the world, in algal population, in yeast population, all these. Fine. Next, we come to slow expanding population. See this triangular structure, slow expanding population. Steeper pyramid with comparatively greater life expectancy. Actually, this pyramid-like structure is found here. See? Clear? The life expectancy here is greater. Next, coming to stable. Why is it stable? Let's see. Number of individuals in pre-reproductive and post-reproductive age group are more or less equal. This gives you a bell-shaped structure. This is found in developed countries. This gives you a bell-shaped structures. Okay. Now see, number of individuals in pre-reproductive and post-reproductive age group are more or less equal. Fine. This is the last one or the diminishing one. Number of individuals in pre and post age group are more or less equal. This gives you urn-shaped structure. Urn means what? Like this. Like this. Urn-shaped structure. Lower birth and death rate found in developed countries. Fine. See, this is what? Rapid expanding, slow expanding, stable and diminishing. See, these diagrams are pretty easy. Now don't say you can't really draw this, you can't really practice this. These are pretty easy, so try to learn. Next, age structure. See, look at this. Look at this island. This is an older age structure. Okay, this is an older age structure where old people are more. 1 year later, what do you see? People have died. The population has reduced. Here you see. This island has got people at a younger age. At a younger age. 1 year later, you see, nothing has actually reduced, but it has increased. All the women are carrying a baby on their lap. So, yes, this is our condition. Can you find out your own country over here? Where is India? this. Yes, this dark blue shade. 1 billion plus population. Okay. Nothing to say over here. Match the colors with the population. See, this is also another pictorial representation of population density and distribution. Human beings are unevenly distributed, so it looks like this patchwork, colored patches all around. Yes, these are some data. Go through it for you to know. See, where do you find India? Here. China being the leader, then come India. Right? Yes. Increasing our carrying capacity. What is carrying capacity? The capacity of our ecosystem to sustain the organisms. This is called carrying capacity. How much, till what limit can it sustain? This is called carrying capacity. Technology has allowed us to raise Earth's carrying capacity for our species time and again. Okay, we have increased our carrying capacity to accommodate this blooming population. Advanced tools are there, agricultural methods have increased, we are producing more and more food crops, so food is available, then what is the problem? Industry has improved, revolutionary change in industries, so you have everything to live for. Yes. So this is how we make room for more and more population. We have increased the carrying capacity of Earth, right? Now see, tool making, agriculture and industrialization each enabled humans to sustain greater population. Correct? Now coming to demography. What is this? Demography is a study of human populations. Human populations exhibit the same fundamental characteristics as do populations of all other organisms. Okay. Yes. Now see, demographic transition theory. This was proposed by F. Notteston in 1940s, 1950s during this time. Demographic transition. What is this? Model of economic and cultural change to explain declining death rates, declining birth rates, and rising life expectancies in Western nations as they became industrialized. Just know it. Demographic transition. What is it? It is a model actually of what? Economic and cultural change. This is actually explaining what? Decline in death rate. That means what? Death rate has reduced. Decline in birth rate have reduced. See, these are all population controlling measures, right? And rising life expectancies in Western nations as they became industrialized. These are the different stages of demographic transition. Pre-industrial stage, industrial stage, pre-industrial stage, transitional stage, industrial stage, and finally post-industrial stage. In pre-industrial stage, what is happening? See, high death rates and high birth rates. Fine. Transitional stage, death rates fall due to rising food production and better medical care. Birth rates remain high, so population surges in transitional stage. Death rate is less because ample food supply is there, so that's no problem. Better medical care is there. Fine. Now coming to industrial stage. In industrial stage, you see what is happening. The birth rate is falling as women are employed and as children become less economically useful in an urban setting. Therefore, population growth is declining. Fine. Post-industrial age. What is happening here? Birth and death rate remain low and stable. Society enjoys the fruit of industrialization. Whatever benefit is there, the society is enjoying the fruit of industrialization without threat of runaway population growth. Fine. See, these are the major important factors that influence population growth. Modern medicine and hygiene. Of course, yes, medical science have improved a lot. This increases the life expectancy of man. So this in a way affects population growth. Education, very, very important. When man becomes aware of the problem of rising population, they learn the art of controlling population, right? So education is very important. Industrialization and urbanization I've just discussed. Economic development is important. When they are economically developed, then what will happen? There will be better education, better medicine, everything will be smooth. Government policies. Government should have different types of policies to control these issues. And role of women in the society. I consider this to be very important. Women are not machines to produce babies. They should be treated with respect. They should be given the space for enjoyment. They should be given ample opportunity to enjoy life to their fullest. They are not slaves. If this can be done, if we give a better position to women in the society, population can definitely be controlled. Right? Now coming to modern medicine and hygiene. Population will grow in countries with good hospitals and doctors because babies get regular vaccinations or shots. People have regular health care, all these education, as I was just discussing all the points. Population will decrease in countries with many educated people because more people have careers, so they decide not to have as many children. Fewer people are farming, so they don't want children. Industrialization, population growth will decrease as a country becomes more developed. Countries that are highly industrialized have low population growth rates. Government policies. The government of China has a one-child policy. Families can only have one child, otherwise the population would grow too rapidly. If a family has more than one child, they must pay a fine. See, how is it? Family planning is a very important thing. Very, very important factor. Now, role of women in the society. Countries with low population growth rates have more women working in the labor force. Countries where women are expected to stay at home and to be housewives will have high population growth rates. Very sad. This is the role of women in the society. They can do everything. Oh my God. Look at this picture. The most densely populated state in India is Uttar Pradesh, Karnataka being the 8th. This is the pictorial representation of growth of urban population since 1951 to 2011 in India. 11 July is celebrated as World Population Day. Okay. Thank you so much for attending the lecture. I hope you have enjoyed learning. If you have any doubts, any confusion anywhere, please feel free to get back to me. See you soon. Bye-bye.